When someone calls you after getting a target letter from a DOJ, what do you do? What do the first 48 hours look like?
Got to bring them in and get what the story is, what their side of the story is, call the prosecutor and figure out what the investigation's about, where the client fits in, whether they're a witness, a subject, or a target, and then strategize from there how to move forward.
So you've handled everything from healthcare fraud to murder to cybercrime. Walk me through how you prepare differently for white collar crime versus some kind of a violent crime.
I think it's just more preparation because there's more to go through. I don't think it's different. My practice is I'll go through everything. I have associates and support staff helping me build the case up, but when it comes down to trial, I go through everything myself. I talk through strategies. I see the big picture. I put together my openings, my closings, my crosses, my directs. So I'm hands-on with every part of the case, no matter what kind of crime it is.
Do you do mock trials in your office or anything like that?
I have on some cases, a lot of times in criminal defense, clients have limited amount of funds. But if there are funds available to do a jury consultant or a mock trial, we'll do a version of that. I know there's recently been some new AI programs coming out that will kind of simulate a mock trial for you. I haven't tried those out yet, but definitely intrigued by it.
Yeah. So you got a federal judge to sentence the internet's most notorious spammer to time served when prosecutors asked for 12 to 14 years. How'd you pull that off? What'd you do? What was the crux of that?
He had a lot of good mitigation. I can't really go into details about what happened, but he was a unique individual, and his case was very unique. And I think the outcome speaks for itself.
So you got a federal judge to sentence. Oh no, that's sorry. Your client Peter Levashov actually thanked you in court and said your speech about his life nearly brought him to tears. How much of defense work is storytelling?
Most of what I do is storytelling. The reality of federal court criminal litigation is most cases go to sentencing. You mentioned the conviction rate. That's based on both people losing at trial or pleading guilty, which the majority of people do. And their time in court really is a sentencing hearing. And I pride myself in being able to tell my client's story to the judge. That's why I developed a relationship with them. And I've had so many clients, most of them, I would say, tell me I explained their life to the judge better than they could. I think one of the skills I have is tapping into the emotions that I felt in certain situations that might be parallel to some of theirs and conveying that to the judge, not to give an excuse for what they did, but give an explanation and context to their actions.
So that Peter Levashov case was actually pretty well covered in the media. Can you talk a little bit about that?
He was they called him the top 10 spammer, right? Top 10 most wanted cyber criminal. So there's always intrigue. And when he got involved in his chosen field, it was still early on with the internet. So he's one of the original players on the internet in cybercrime. So that's why he kind of got this, I guess, reputation about him.
So, what's the biggest mistake people make in the first 24 hours after they learn they're being investigated?
Think they're smarter than law enforcement and talking to them.
So, there's a reason why they have the right to remain silent.
Of course, and I think what most people don't know is if you're talking to a federal agent and you lie to them, that's just a crime in and of itself. And if they ultimately can't even get you for what they're investigating you for, they could charge you with a federal felony for lying to a federal law enforcement officer. And it could be a small lie, but if they think it's material, you're going to get yourself in more trouble than you need. So my advice always is if you think you need a lawyer, you need a lawyer.